Okay, well, let's start with a prayer. Let's bow our heads. Dear Father in heaven, we praise you for something to sing about. Jesus, who came, saved us from sin and death, and brought courage and light to us in the midst of a dark world. Thank you, dear Father, first of all, for making us, being our Creator. And like we sang about, dear God, all the things you've made. And we enjoy them so much. And thank you for these hymns, to sing about them. And may these hymns be to your honor and glory, and the lifting of our spirits too in this journey toward heaven. Thank you, Father. Commit this service to you. Bless these young people, and that their hearts would be turned to you. In Jesus' name. All right. Where do we start here? I've got Joy to the World I'd like to sing. And I'm going to try to do it a little slower so that we can find our place here. And you bass, let's just, when it's the ladies' turn to sing, let's just enjoy their singing. They're going to go, let every heart prepare him room. That's their turn. And heaven and nature, and then you jump in, you bass. Let's just leave off those piano notes on the bass. Let's leave them alone for now. Sometimes they're nice to hum along, but let's just listen to these ladies with their alto and soprano when it's their turn. Okay. Up here. Do it again. Get ready. I want you to get ready for this breathing beat so we can all be together. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King.
Let every heart prepare him room, and then natures.
We're running away with it. Just keep on gently singing. I know it's fun. It's you girls' turn. You're taking off here. But watch my hand a little bit if you get a chance. And let's not just race along. Let's just start over. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King.
Every heart prepare him room, and then nature sing. Nature
nature sang. Okay. The scale again here. Remember, this is the main thing to practice. The major diatonic scale. Let's sing it. The reason, again, that we do shape notes, that we're learning shape notes is it's a very efficient way to learn where the different tones come in relation to the tonic note. This is the diatonic scale, and do is our tonic note. It is home. And so below it or above it, if you learn the shapes, you know exactly where to put them. Rather than learning the position of a round note on the scale. Needing to learn for every key signature, there are different positions on the scale. In this case, you just learn everything in relation to do, the tonic note. You see your shape, and you belt it out. Let's do it. Very good. Now let's go down to do. Low do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's good. And you do it by yourself now one more time, and then I'm going to talk about these notes down. Okay, here's, as you see in your book, you'll see some notes colored in, filled in, and some are just outlined. Whether it's the do, whether it's the re or the mi. I'm going to tell you about this. This one without any stem on is a whole note. This is the note value. It's how much value you put on it. That means how long you sing it. Okay? This one's a half. So a half is exactly how much of the whole. If you have a half a pie, how much of that is it? How much of the whole is it? It's too easy to answer, isn't it? It's just a half. Okay. A quarter note is exactly half of what? Someone, anyone.
It's half of half.
It's half of half. And an eighth note is half of a quarter. And a 16th is half of an eighth. It's real simple. Each one, as we go down through here, is half of the previous one. So, you see, here we still can't color a half note in. Half note has a stem. We know it's a half that way. We sing it half as long as a whole note. The quarter note is filled in, and it needs a stem. It just gets a straight stem, and it's filled in. That means it's a quarter note. Sung exactly half as long as a half note. Does that make sense? Just hold it out half as long. Okay, and then an eighth note has this single flag on it. And it's still filled in. And a 16th note has a double flag. And we don't sing a 16th note very, very long at all. It's just like, dun dun. That first little note, that first little sound I made would be our 16th, we can imagine. So let's practice a little bit here. What I have. Oh, let's do this praise to God, immortal praise again, and illustrate this. What note is this up here? It's round note, not filled in, has a stem on it. Or it doesn't matter. Same thing as whether it's a diamond shape. It's sung the same amount. Down here, the do's, tenor and bass. Okay, praise, the word praise. Okay, what is that note? What is it?
Half note.
Half note. Okay, see, that's a half. So we got half, 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 half. What? What's that one? Doesn't have a stem on and it's not filled in. That's a whole note. So we go, praise to God, immortal praise. Does that make sense? Look here. Let's do it all together. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or no, let's just do it like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That makes sense? Let's do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We stick on that note longer. See that? Twice as long. So here we have, what's that called again? What did you call it, Hope? Are you here?
A treble clef?
Oh, not here. She's sick. Like some of mine are sick. The treble clef or the G clef. Yes, that's our clef signature. Here is our what signature? These three little flats here. What do we call that?
E flat.
Well, yeah, but what signature do we call it? What does it tell?
Key signature.
That's the key signature. And what is this 2-2 here? What signature is that? Someone know?
Time signature.
That's the time signature. So we have clef signature, key signature, and the time signature. So you see in each measure here, we have 2 beats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. See that whole measure of music? That is a measure. Between these lines here is a measure. See those lines that go down through? That's a measure. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Stick on that note twice as long. Does that make sense? So now let's sing the notes of this. Okay? Let's do this. Who's on? No, let's just sing it all. First of all, in unison on soprano. Everybody, make it easy again. Oh, everybody on soprano. So, mi, fa, so, mi. So, la, so, mi, re. Fa, mi, so, do, so. La, so, mi, fa, re, mi. Do is down there. Okay, now we're going to divide up. Who would like to do the soprano, the alto? Raise your hand. Who wants to sing the second notes? Here. Of you ladies, raise your hand. Why don't you come over into this corner? Isabella, just come over here. Megan, are you doing alto as well? Sure. Okay. And soprano, stay over on this side. Okay? So we're going to hear some alto over here. And we want sopranos to be over here. Okay. That's more or less. And Katie can decide what she wants to do. Okay, very good. In the middle, you all are kind of in limbo. You're kind of not sure what you're going to do. But yeah, pick one. So, and we're going to just all go again on soprano and alto. And no, let's just right away, you fellas do your part. The tenors, take your tenor. And the bass, you take your bass. Let's see how that goes. Okay. I'm going to be on soprano. So you sopranos, follow me if you want to. But look at your shape of your note. So mi, do, do, tenor, do, bass, do, soprano, so, mi, fa, so, mi, so, la, so, mi, re, fa, mi, and help alto now. Oh, soprano, I'm gonna help alto. Mi, do, re, mi, do. Mi, fa, mi, do, ti, do, do, mi, fa, mi, do, re, ti, do. Are you thinking about how we hold it out a whole note here at the ends of our phrases of music? All right, I'm going to help tenor now. Ready? Tenor. Do, do, sol, sol, ti, ti, do, sol. Do, 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 sol, sol. Sol, 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 sol. Do, sol, do. Do, 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 sol. La, sol, sol. You guessed it, I'm going to bass now. Do, 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 sol, sol, do, do, fa, fa, do, do, sol, 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 do, 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 fa, fa, do, do, fa, sol, do. Very good. You're advanced. I like that. That's a blessing. Okay, now bear with me. Nope, I'm going to do that exercise after we just sing another hymn. Let's go, The Lord's My Shepherd. The one we got this morning. The Lord's My Shepherd. Let's sing that. Then we'll do one more exercise. Okay, what is our pitch here? Our key. What key am I going to blow?
F.
F. That's right. Fat boys eat apple dumpling. Okay, I must explain that those upper notes up there on top where it says descant, that's another set of music. That's a fifth part. And we're not going to do that yet. That's a fifth part. So let's stick down here on the regular score, the top of this low. See that? See what I mean there? Us sopranos. But then go ahead, you altos and tenors and basses. We're going to come down to sol, do, sol. The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me down to lie in pastures green. He leads What do we do with our mouths when we sing?
Open them.
Open them. If we haven't brushed our teeth, what do we do?
Brush it.
Yeah, that's right. But, or we're chewing gum or something like that, we just tend to... Okay. Don't be afraid. Open your mouth. It's all right if we get to see your tonsil. That's a little bit wide and everything. Okay. I'm going to do this in the key of C. This is a little exercise here. And what are these notes again up here? All these? Not filled in. They have a stem. Half note. And down here, what's that one there? Whole note. Keep on with halves again. Down to...
Whole note.
That's a whole note as well, even though we have a shape there. It's a whole note. Let's try this. It's an exercise that really helped me when I was in 5th grade in school to learn to jump around on the scale and hit those notes just right on the scale. Do, ti, 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 la, 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 sol, sol, fa, 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 mi, re, 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 do. Higher. Mi, re, re, do, ti, la, la, sol, 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 fa, 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 mi. Let's stop there. Did that work? You understand that? Held out this one twice as long as the others. Let's do it again. And then we're going to try this. Get this. Do, ti, 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 la, 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 sol, sol, fa, 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 mi, re, re, do. Mi, re, do, ti, la, la, sol, sol, fa, mi. I should be hitting that twice. Do. How's that?
This would be a good one to be just a little louder than you are.
Okay, we're going to do it again. And then we'll just flow right into this. Let's go louder. And if you mess up on that, the shape, do, re, all of that, just try again.
Open your mouth and be loud.
Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Mi, re, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, fa, re, ti, do. You feel rusty a little bit? That's okay. We'll practice that. Okay, one more hymn. Let's sing another hymn. Let's do this. Jesus, I my cross have taken. No. Last Sunday, I love to steal a while away. We didn't get to do this. Phoebe Brown was a mother in a family. I don't think they had a lot of means. It seems like she had 7 children, quite a few children, and she was, like a lot of mothers are, they worked hard. She was really tired in the evenings, but she wanted to go out and get away from the children that were yelling and getting sleepy in the house and having all kinds of fun. And I think she left them with her husband. And she would take a walk and go over toward a ritzy house. She would walk over there where there were flowers and so forth. And she walked over toward this house, and she would do this in the evenings. And the owner, the lady of that house, noticed her doing that. She finally got upset with her, and I think she opened the door and said, "Why don't you just come in?" or something. "What are you doing?" I don't remember all the details, but she didn't really care for just wondered, what's she doing such an odd thing for, going walking by herself in the evenings? And this is what Phoebe wrote as a response to her. This is what she was doing. After the hard day, crying children, laughing children, all of that, she wanted to go and steal just a while away. D, go down and eat breakfast first. D, if I can find it, it's not painted on here. Do, re, I love to steal away from every cumbering care, and spend the hours of setting day in humble grateful prayer. I love in solitude to share the penitential tear, and of his promises to plead, where none but God can hear. I love to think of mercies past and future good implore, and all my cares and sorrows cast on Him whom I adore. I love by faith to take a view of brighter scenes in heaven, the prospect of my strength renewed, while here my tempest dread. Look this way, girls. I know there's fun stuff to look at over that way, babies and all that. Stick over here. We're almost finished. Thus, when life's toil someday is o'er, may its departing ray be calm as this impressive hour, and lead to endless day. Okay, you can go back, except the boys are going to do their assignment. Ladies, you can go back.
Okay, so last Sunday's message was about, part of it was about just deny yourself. And so some people think they're denying themselves when they like deny themselves of things they might want or stuff, but he preached to just deny yourself. And then And then he talked about the prayer where Jesus said, "Thy will be done." He said how that gets us out of the way so that we can follow God.
He said about how there's people that have a real high self-esteem and there's people that have low self-esteem, but what the thing that you need to have is completely no self-esteem at all. And that's not right down alongside the low self-esteem, because the low self-esteem usually just doesn't do things very good, and that's just doing your best and not caring what other people think.
I think about that when sometimes when we're sitting there just thinking about what other people are thinking about us, we try to make everything right and end up getting a pretty high picture of ourselves in our mind, and we need to, because when we have that, then it doesn't go along with what other people think of us, because it's not always the same.
Thought about when he said not worrying about what others think, but just doing something because you know it's right, or not doing something because you know it's wrong.
I thought about what he said, that we need to have no self-esteem, and I thought about that through the week, and thought about, how we could apply that and do that. And what I came up with was that we're all part of a body. We're all endowed with obvious gifts that are very specific to us, or there might be some people that have the same gift, but we're obviously not good at some things and good at some other things, and that's kind of a mystery. But I thought about how it's obvious that we had nothing to do with that. But what we do have to do with is the choice of loving other people and becoming a part of that body. And if we're not a part of this body, then we can't, other people can't help us where we lack, and they can't, we can't help them and they can't help us, basically. And pride is what keeps us, I just thought about how, I'm sure all you children, get in fights with your siblings, and I think a lot of that is because we're so different, and it's easier to fight and argue than to work together. And I know that's true in my life. I think it's true in everybody's life that has brothers and sisters. We're all different, and we can tend to criticize each other for differences because, they can't do this as good as me, or we could try to be like somebody else because we're elevating them to a higher degree than we should. And so anyway, where I went with this is basically David's point. Zero self-esteem is to lose that you have any individual separate from the body any value, because without each other we're lost. I mean, we need each other. If we're going to be part of a body, we need to work together.
Really stuck out to me last Sunday about how we need to. Some people think they're denying themselves by not having certain things or doing things on this earth that, like, that to do this so I can get to heaven, and we need to forget about ourselves, and maybe we don't deserve to go to heaven, and we need to let God make that decision and just forget about ourselves and do what's right.
Something that stuck out to me was how you shouldn't be so concerned about what other people think of you. You should just be yourself and do what's right, and that's something I need to work on.
Denying yourself is laying down your life and taking up the cross and following Jesus. David said last week that being proud isn't just thinking you're really great for what you can do, but thinking that you are higher than what you really are.
I wasn't here last week, so I might go back to Kevin's sermon. I really like Kevin's sermon, and he talked about praising the Lord, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you do it. And one point he brought out is, I think it was maybe Isaac Watts. He made the poem about the mice running up the rope and got in trouble for it, and got flogged for it. And he said, "No more hymns shall I make." And he did. Obviously, he did more because he made a bunch of them. But I really like that.